Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me. I'm like checking the microphone. Can you hear me? Because I'm afraid last week it was not a good news story. But happy Wednesday. I'm looking for feedback if you can hear me before I go 9 minutes. But I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. It is cold here, but it's sunny. So I don't really care how cold it is if it's sunny. Can you guys hear me? Yay, we can hear you. Okay, I see I'm a little freaked out. So I just got back from lunch with friends and I was talking with a newbie faster earlier today. And on Instagram, I get into chats and talking with someone. And I wanted to, one thing that she asked about was, do I ever do something different than normal? And I think when you start fasting, one thing that you can kind of feel like is you're going to be stuck in a single way of eating forever. But I was invited to lunch with friends. I went to lunch with friends and I'm still going to have dinner tonight. It's not something I do often without having a down day and an up day. But guess what? I did it today. We went to Panera. I had my drink here. I had soup and salad, and I'm still going to eat dinner with my family tonight. And I think the longer that you fast, the more comfort you get in learning how to be flexible. I still fasted 18 hours beforehand. I'm going to fast at least 18 hours afterwards. But it was a wonderful lunch. I got to be with my friends. I got to enjoy lunch. And now I'm here with you guys. So normally I am 100% fasting when I do these lives, but I had my eating window. So if you see me drinking the pop, I am in my eating window. But lots of hellos. We have Arizona, Wisconsin, Illinois, Florida, and then a lot of we can hear you. So thanks for letting me know that. We have the UK. Friend from Panera. Crystal, geez Louise. I hope you're not really watching me in Panera. I just left my friends at Panera, so it looks like they're watching. I hope she's in her car. I'd prefer to not know that you're there. Cordially, Crystal. I didn't know your username. Now I know you. And then let's see. Karina's giving some advice. She says, to anyone who's on the fence with intermittent fasting or struggling in any way, I highly recommend listening to intermittent fasting stories. It's really an eye-opener. The right eating plan and window is very personal to you. I 100% agree. I love Jen's intermittent fasting stories. And I was on her podcast, but I definitely love her show and agree. Lots of hellos. Let's see. Canada, Massachusetts, Texas. And Stephanie is about 45 minutes away from me. If you've told me before, I'm sorry, I don't remember where, but where in Michigan are you? I'm curious. Let's see. Tony says, I've been watching your videos and I have a few questions. Have I ever dirty fasted, like had liquids, but no solids? So, oh my gosh. Sorry, I saw that they're watching at Panera still. But yes, I have technically when I first started fasting, my friend Gentry, who sounds like is watching this, she's the one that told me about the book Fast Feast Repeat, where they talk about clean fasting. And the only coffee that I kept on hand was flavored coffee. So I had like French vanilla and creme brulee. Those are the two I had. Hazelnut, I had those a lot. And I would call it Sinner's coffee. So I started and pretty much depleted my Sinner's coffee as my black coffee because it was flavored. I did do that before I just got rid of the flavors, but I'm definitely a rule follower. And since the way I read in the book was to clean fast, I started that way. And every once in a while, I'm talking like once every, 100 fasts, maybe I'll have Diet Coke, or the thing that I do most often is I'll put like a breath strip in if I feel like I have bad breath and I'm going to be somewhere. But for the most part, I do a clean fast because I do think it makes a big difference. I don't do anything like broth or apple cider vinegar or anything if I'm not in my eating window. Let's see. Kimberly says the scale is finally moving for her. Good for you. She's doing alternate day fasting. And with 24, she was maintaining still, but not gaining weight. So good for you, Kimberly. I'm really happy for you. That's exciting. Let's see. Lisa says she puts Himalayan salt in her ice water. Delicious. I've heard from people they put salt in things. I've never done that other than when I do Element. Obviously, that makes it really salty, but I can see how that would be appealing. Let's see. Hi from Tennessee. I'm choosing to ignore the viewing party comment. Linda says, I'm struggling getting back into the rhythm since Thanksgiving. Help. Okay, so first of all, the first thing I'd remind yourself of is that every day that you sleep, you're fasting. So don't think that you've completely quit. You just had shorter fasts and longer eating windows. And I would focus on having eating windows that you really like. That's always important to me personally, is having food that I enjoy to look forward to. So it doesn't have to be junk food, it doesn't have to be ultra processed, really crappy food, but like make your eating window food that you enjoy. So if that is, I don't mean, butter chicken is one of my absolute favorite dinners. It's really easy for me to look forward to eating butter chicken with the buttered naan and rice and broccoli. Like I look forward to that meal. So if I have that in an eating window, it's great incentive to fast to really get to enjoy that. And if you plan to have eating windows that you really enjoy, it's going to be easier for you to fast, and then you'll build that muscle up. And then also, I wouldn't beat yourself up if it's going to take you a while to get back into the groove. Don't feel like if you have to be exactly where you were before you fell off. Like start slow. If you need to do 12-hour fast and then 13-hour fast and then 14-hour fast, it's not a race. Like you have time to get back. So I'm cheering for you, Linda. If you want specific help, tell me more, I guess, about what you're struggling with, and I'd love to try to help. Let's see. Katie said, I started fasting this week and it's going well. I want to know if you still had treats, chocolate, alcohol when you first started fasting. Yes, I have had all the treats. Especially when I first started fasting, I really embraced the eat whatever I want in my eating window. And because I hadn't been previously dieting at that point. I mean, at that very moment, I wasn't dieting. I pretty much had that mentality all day, every day. So doing it less was still a benefit to me. And I still like chocolate's not a huge treat to me, but like donuts or ice cream or something, I definitely had it when I started. I wasn't dieting when I began. And I'm not a huge drinker. Like I like to have drinks, but it was probably like a once a week type thing, which is what it probably still is now on average. But yes, I did from the very beginning. What do you say to your haters who claim you're starving yourself, or do you ignore them? So I don't get this much anymore, probably because I have a lot of like benefits that I've received. I've lost weight. I've maintained my weight loss. I reversed my fatty liver. I have near perfect blood tests. And if I have people, it's rare now, but it did happen a lot when I first started, that would give me kind of crap about it. One, I'd suggest that they go read resources. And one thing, like, even though I've never actually read it myself in its entirety, I would point to things like the New England Journal of Medicine has a really great article published on the benefits of fasting. And I would just kind of point to authoritative sources. Number one, point to Fast Feast Repeat, a book that that started. I would suggest they read that. Like, basically, I'd be like, I can't argue with you. It's working for me. I'm feeling good. And then, because at the very beginning, you don't have the results to point to. But now, if someone's telling me I'm starving myself, I would just say, I'm happy. I don't obsess about food anymore. I've lost weight. I've maintained weight. I've never been able to do that with anything else I've done in the past. And then I'd list my long list of the benefits I've had. And if they still think they can argue with that, just let them. But I don't really give them the time of day. I get a lot of haters in comments. For the most part, it makes me just feel like, okay, well, they don't understand the same struggles that I've had with food. They're obviously not my audience. It doesn't really bother me. And then I move on. Let's see. Julie, oh wait. So let me see here. Tony says, I had my first update today after trying a down day yesterday, and I feel a little guilty. Did you feel this way in the beginning? I think it's part of just getting used to the whole flexibility, because it's so different than an OMAD or a shorter eating window. When you have an up day, it almost feels like you're breaking the rules. But the more you do it, I think you're going to start to embrace the flexibility of being able to have an up day. And I don't think I ever really felt guilty, but it did kind of feel like I was breaking the rules because it's not what you do all the other days. But having the flexibility is going to be something that you'll probably enjoy. If you like the down day and the up day, it's going to be nice to know when you can implement it and flex it. But I think like the mentality of doing a down day and up day has certainly changed the longer I do it. But congrats to you for doing it for the first time. Julie says, you and your channel have changed my life. Thank you so much. Well, thank you, Julie. That's really kind of you. Okay, well, Stephanie said, I wish I could give up Diet Pepsi. That's my one true vice. I am now currently sipping on a Diet Pepsi. So I understand. I had a really, really bad problem with pop before I was a faster. And I kind of kicked the habit where I felt addicted to pop when I was pregnant with my son, who's now about 6.5. So I don't feel addicted to pop anymore. I still like it. I'd be lying if I said I didn't like pop, but sparkling water has replaced pop for me. But if I ever start to feel like I'm drinking too much pop, I do have to cut back because I have had times where I would drink 2 large pops every single day from McDonald's, and that was a little excessive. Diet Coke. But I understand because it really can get a hold of you. Karen says, I reached my goal weight, but will I keep losing? How do I maintain and not lose more weight or have a big weight because I stopped? Weight gain, I'm guessing you meant. Let's see here. So my personal experience, and I think most people find this, is I lost weight and then all of a sudden I just stopped and I haven't lost any more weight. Part of it is I haven't really ever changed my diet too much. I'm sure like when I went keto for a month, I lost a nice chunk of weight additionally, but as soon as I went back to eating carbs, most of the weight came back. So I did find that I was on a steady weight loss and then I just hit it and I stopped. If you do feel like you're losing too much weight, I would probably make sure you have a few days where you're maybe having longer eating windows, and that would hopefully help with that. But it wasn't anything I ever dealt with. I stopped losing weight and that was that. And I'm in a very healthy zone weight wise and I feel really good. So I just am resting here, but I never had to deal with losing too much weight. Let's see. Ashley says, hey, Ashley. Julie says, I have thyroid disease and still managed to lose 11 pounds in the last 5 weeks. That is amazing. Good for you. I don't know anything about thyroid diseases, but when you have something you're dealing with and you're still seeing success, I think that's pretty great. Katie says, I'm so thankful I found you before the holidays. I enjoyed this past Thanksgiving and Christmas and all the treats. Usually it's such a struggle. Intermittent fasting is so freeing. I love reading that because that's exactly how I feel. That's exactly the same freedom I found. And that's why I share, is because I know the difference, life pre-fasting and life with fasting, and I never want to go back. And that's like why I like to share it. So I'm so glad you found me too. Datha, should I not have annual blood work done while fasting 18 plus hours? Saw on a Facebook intermittent fasting post that anything over 12 hours could affect results. Anyone have experience or recommendations? I don't obviously know a medical reason. I did my annual blood work. I was fasted about 20 hours was the last time I got my blood work done. And they actually tell you when they gave me the order, they're like, well, you have to be fasted when you do this blood work. And it was just like a general panel. So it wasn't, I don't even know how to explain it medically, but, I said, oh, it's not a problem. I'm already fasting. So I just went and got it done. But I think a lot of blood work, you have to be fasted. So I would definitely talk to your medical provider, but I got mine done. I know it was around 20 hours fasted last time I did it. I actually said I just started fasting December 28th after I found your channel. I've been doing good so far and lost 6 pounds. Yay. Congrats. Ashley, that's awesome. I'm excited for you. Let's see. I always do this. I lose my, okay. Sherry says, so your fasting window is 18 hours, always at a minimum, but eating window varies. So glad I caught your live today. Yes, that's exactly what it is. And I think your comment here, and I get this question on various videos. I think I'm just going to make a video on it for this weekend. I am recording my video for this weekend tomorrow, and I was going between a few different topics, but it seems like just today, multiple people have asked me or wanted clarification on what I focus on. So I'm gonna make a video about I focus literally on the 18 hours, and my eating window is not even tracked. Like I couldn't tell you my eating window except for going back and doing backwards math, looking at my fast. I don't track it. I'm mindful of it, I guess, but I know if I want to eat at a certain time tomorrow, I do the math backwards. I make sure I close my eating window. But like today, I'm going to have a very long eating window by comparison because I'm having lunch and dinner. I do normally do OMAD, but it's not killer to me. I still just make sure I get my 18 hours, eat 18 hours. That's my focus. Marcy says, that's great, Ashley. How long she's asking questions. I skipped the questions in between each other because it could just go on forever. Jennifer and Joshua, I started this Monday wondering if you worked out to achieve the weight loss. I did not work out as part of my weight loss protocol. I walk, but I basically do the same things now that I did when I was overweight. So I like to go on walks in my neighborhood. I had an elliptical. Now I have a treadmill. Walking is my jam. That's what I like to do. But I think of it more as like a mental thing than a physical thing. And I also don't track unless I'm doing some sort of like challenge, but I don't track my workouts. I did set a goal this year to do 3 30-minute workouts a week just to be a little more consistent. In the summer, I have no issues getting a bunch of physical activity. In the winter, I don't like going outside as much, but it was definitely not part of my weight loss because I didn't do anything different when I was fasting than when I wasn't fasting. I like to feel like I'm a pretty physical person as far as like walking and doing things, but I'm not one that is a gym rat. Let's see. Julie says, I pretty much follow your rules. I fast at least 18 hours a day. I don't have a short eating window, but I do have small appetizer, a delicious meal, and a later small dessert. That's awesome. Sounds like the perfect eating window to me. Susie says, I caught you live. Woohoo! Woohoo! Question, have you ever taken exogenous, I don't know if I'm saying that right, ketones? No, I have not. I've seen ketones and like the packets, but if I'm fasting, I know I've taken like blood ketone readers. I know I produce ketones. I don't feel like I need to take extras. I don't really know the benefits, but I don't. Let's see. Ashley says they are 16 and 8. Oh, no. I don't know what that's in response to. I'm sorry. Okay, you're talking amongst each other, I think. Renice, I hope I said that right. I have always been skinny my whole life. I'm 33 years old, I'm 5'4", and my weight is 112 pounds. But to me, I'm fat. People always think I'm slim, but I look fat when I look in the mirror. Well, I'm really sorry that you have that image of yourself. I know that can be really hard to work through, and I definitely am not equipped to really give advice on that. Even now, I think one of the hardest things is there are days where I look in the mirror and I literally wonder if I have gained all the weight back that I had before, and I just think it's a body image. Body image is the huge thing for women. It's a huge thing in our culture. And I just think it's one, like a mental hurdle that a lot of women, a lot of people struggle with. And I don't really have really good advice about it. I don't really know what to say, but I would definitely talk with someone about that because you don't want to let it lead down a dark path. But I don't have much to say because I don't really know, but I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. Let's see, still talking amongst each other, which is awesome. If you have a down day, then an up day followed by another down day, how do you handle it? Would you have a down day after a second up day in a row? Let's see. I need to think of that. If I have a down day, then an up day followed by another up day, how do you handle it? Oh, I would just have an up day. Personally, just because I know like having a second up day, some people have mentioned to me that they do spontaneous up days and then do a down day. I've never done that, but like days like today technically would feel like an up day where I ate lunch and then I'm going to have dinner today. But I'm just going to have a minimum of my 18-hour fast. It's abnormal. So what you do on a regular basis is much more important than what you do on an irregular basis. I would just honestly, if you do a down day and up day, and then you by chance have another up day, just fast on until your next one and then resume what you normally would do is what I would do. Let's see. James asked, oh wait, I skipped one. Julie says, I eat anything I want and do not count calories. So free. And last night I had pizza followed with a banana split and I'm still losing and I'm at my lowest weight in over 10 years. Woohoo! Pizza and a banana split sounds like an amazing meal to me. I love pizza. We have it about once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. And a banana split is like, if I'm feeling extra, it's a banana split night. I love banana splits. But I'm glad for you, and I am the same way. People ask me all the time on videos, and I think they'd probably get great views if I did it to count my calories and give an estimate, but I don't wanna know because I don't wanna think about it. It's freeing. It's wonderful to not think of it. I don't feel like I'm dieting, not dying. I don't feel like I'm dying either, but just the freedom to enjoy my eating window is the best part of fasting. So congrats to you, Julie. I'm excited that you have the same benefit. James says, what time of day is your normal eating window? And will you drink calorie drinks during your fast? So the only thing I drink, iced tea, unflavored. That's more a summer thing. I haven't had that in a number of months, but when it's hot out, I like it. Ice water, sparkling, plain water, and then black coffee, hot or iced. I don't have any flavors. I don't have anything, but there are calories in coffee. So whatever the calories are, 5, 10, I don't count that. Like I don't add it up or consider it, but I do have coffee, which I know has some calories. I don't know if iced tea has calories, but I don't do anything like cream in my coffee or bone broth. I don't do any of that. Let's see. Tony says, I watched a video of yours where you enjoyed a summer day with your family and you got in the pool and went for a walk with your daughter. That particular day looked like freedom. That's awesome. Yes. And all of my days look different. And I think that's one of the things when you think of intermittent fasting as a newbie, you kind of feel like it could potentially be a life sentence of doing the same thing over and over. And that's one of the reasons I like to give you guys a wide variety of my days is for you to see that it literally can apply to a day where you're going on a walk or playing at the park or going to the pool. It fits. It's just a time. Time passes whether you're here or there, Disney, Michigan, winter, summer. Intermittent fasting is about time, and that can fit in any lifestyle. So I'm glad you like that, and I definitely feel the freedom. Thank you, Jackie, for all that you've taught us. For the first time in my adult life, I lost weight during the holidays and ate all the treats, down 45 pounds in 9 months. Yay! That's awesome, Dawn. I am so excited for you, and I bet this was a wonderful holiday season for you for that reason. I love it. I love it. And actually, I just was going through a drawer, and I found your really sweet letter, so thank you. I thought of you earlier today. Let's see. Jared says, I started on New Year's Day. I drank probably 4 liters of Coke Zero. I just settling into a 23-hour fast today. I hate coffee, but I'm going to need the caffeine. My blood's dropped from 15 to 5, and ketones are 3. Wow, ketones at 3 is pretty darn good. I don't know what your blood drops are. 15 to 5. I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. But you drink 4 liters of Coke Zero a day? Holy moly. I thought 2 large Diet Cokes is a lot. I love Coke Zero, but I understand. I do think I like the taste of it. But and I don't even have a professional opinion on whether coffee is better for or worse than Coke Zero, but I do love caffeine, or I do love coffee, and I think that drinking coffee is easier for me to fast than if I had a diet soda. But welcome, and I'm glad that you seems like you're doing well, off to a good start. Cordelia says, what's the best element flavor in your opinion to put in coffee? So if I'm fasting, the only one that I do is the raw, but it would be a lie if I said that was my favorite one. I like to put actually chocolate in my coffee. I'm not a huge chocolate person, but I think it really lends well. It's like a mocha flavor. I really like to put that in the coffee but that's in my eating window only. And then I don't know if they're still offering their holiday flavors. The caramel chocolate was really good in coffee. I like that one too. Tony says, now I'm hooked. I get the book or I'm going to get the book for my Kindle, Fast Feast Repeat. What's the name of the fasting app you use? I use the Zero app. I use the free version. I don't pay for it. And I get asked all the time. I have an Apple Watch, so it's compatible with my iPhone and my Apple Watch. I don't know anything about Androids, so I'm sorry if I don't know about that. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, Ace says, did you know there's a certain way for women to fast? You're not supposed to go into a deep fast a week before your period. Fast like a girl, and Dr. Mindy on YouTube changed my life. I just read her book. So I've never really considered fasting in my hormones, but I am not 100% sure what I'm going to do because it feels so radical from what's working for me right now. But I am considering trying to change it up. I'd be lying. I'm fearful to not fast as much as I do before my period because that's when I'm really hungry and I can eat a lot. So I am considering changing my protocol. I just don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. But yes, I just read her book and it was really, to me, it was very compelling to change. I will say that. And I really have started to enjoy Dr. Mindy's content. But yes, I really, really liked her book. It's just hard. I've been doing it for 2.5 years and I feel very successful on it. So it's hard to consider changing what seems to be working. But could it work better? That's like the argument, like how much better could I feel? And I will say I don't have the world's best periods. So I would like to work on my hormones. It's just scary to change. Dawn says, what about green tea, or what about green on black unsweet tea? I got my caffeine with tea because I don't like coffee either. Okay, so chatting amongst yourselves. Michelle says, thank you for being a role model for eating what is wanted. I have the healthiest relationship with food since I started following your example and doing OMAD, plus my body is changing. Thank you, Jackie. That's awesome, Michelle. I'm really excited for you. And I love that comment because people see the eat what you want and they make assumptions about it. But my relationship with food is so much healthier too, because I've lost the obsession. I've lost the I can't, which then leads me to overeat the things that I can't eat or eat them in excess because I'm never going to do it again. And I really feel like if you understand the struggle, then you understand the freedom that's offered. And I'm really glad to see that you have that, Michelle. Stephanie said, I started 1 month ago today at 325 pounds, down to 303 today. Yay. I know it's such a big loss because I'm heavier and the loss will slow down, but I'll take it. I am excited for you, Stephanie, and I'm cheering for you. And yes, progress is progress. Take it. I'm excited with you, and I can't wait to continue to hear of your progress. Let's see. Tony says, what kind of treadmill do you have? I saw it in a video about things to do while fasting. It looks like one that folds up but has some type of incline. So it doesn't have like an incline that you can change. It is like a rollaway. I'm going to look up the name of it right now on my phone because I'll probably forget, because after this I have to leave to pick up my kids and I'll say that I'll do it and my memory will be shot. Let's see. Looking at my Amazon orders. And I do, if you look at this treadmill, I'm going to share with you, there's a video where it goes over more. It's called the Go Plus 2-in-1 folding treadmill. So I've absolutely loved it. I don't use the bar and I actually don't roll it away. I just leave it right there to sit stand desk. But my favorite part about it is I can start working, editing videos, going through emails, and I forget that I'm walking, and I can walk an hour and you just forget about it. I do really like it. Let's see. Jared's chatting among others. Let's see. Jennifer said, and Joshua. Jennifer and Joshua, I don't know which of you I'm talking to, but I feel like OMAD is a little excessive for me. Did you start off by doing OMAD? I did, but that's because I knew it worked for me. I didn't plan on doing it, but a 6-hour eating window was going to be my initial thought of 4 to 10 p.m. But I just really found that I liked having a short eating window. I liked having OMAD, and eating large quantities has always been like what I like to do. So having a larger meal once a day was much more satisfying than like a longer eating window, because I can eat quite a bit in 6 hours. And so doing that every day just didn't feel as good as having the OMAD. So I personally did jump to OMAD really quickly, but it's because I found what worked for me. Now, if you're finding that it seems excessive, it sounds like it might not be what's for you. So try something different, or try having some people do OMAD Monday through Friday because they're busier during the week, and then they have longer eating windows on the weekend. There's so many ways to just play around and see what works for you. But if it feels excessive, I would definitely like pay attention to what your body's telling you. Tina says, when I break my fast, I eat so fast because I'm so hungry. I feel sick. I don't know how to control myself. I pretty much had the same feeling. I would eat pretty much everything in sight as soon as I broke my fast, and I wouldn't feel very good, which then meant I didn't actually enjoy my dinner. And it was just kind of a learning curve. I feel like so many people, when they start to fast, kind of get that reaction when they open their window, like finally, and they just take in it all. Well, then once you start to realize it doesn't feel good, I don't get to enjoy my eating window. I didn't even get to enjoy the dinner that I was planning because I ate too much of XYZ to open my eating window. You just kind of start shaping your behaviors. That's what I found. And I think that it's just kind of part of the learning process. You got to get through realizing you're not going to starve. Your body will start to see, even mentally, you'll start to see like, okay, I can make it to the fast. And then how can I make this eating window as best as possible? Well, it's not going to be eating everything in sight, because everything in sight is not going to be highly satisfactory or your favorite. Think of like, if I eat too much of this, I won't enjoy my dinner. You're going to just start shaping your behaviors just through learning what doesn't work. You're going to see what works better. But yeah, I kind of got the same feeling. I don't know that I'd feel sick, but it was just kind of like a stuffed, like, uncomfortable feeling. And then by the time dinner came, it was like, oh, well, I'm not really as hungry as I would be if I didn't eat everything in sight when I open my window. But I do think that it's something that it's a learned behavior. My skin looks gorgeous. Thank you very much. Except for here, I'm picking. I am so horrible at picking when I get like a raised blackhead, and then I pick at them and they turn into these. So we'll just focus on this side. But thank you. Let's see. Oh, I skipped one. Pamela says, Jackie, I've done 18.6, only lost 7 pounds. I'm getting discouraged. I think I'm eating too many calories on my OMAD. 7 pounds seems like a high loss. I don't know how long you've been going. But I think that sounds really like you're doing great. I wouldn't give up, because some people, like, thinking, going back to my dad, he didn't lose weight for like the first 6 months. And then he slowly made changes and eventually started losing weight. Focus on, are you feeling good? Are you enjoying your eating window? Are you sleeping well? How are your clothes fitting? And also 7 pounds. You're not gaining weight, obviously. I don't know how many times I could feel good, enjoy what I'm eating, and not gain weight. If I wasn't losing weight by actively dieting, I was actually enjoying what I was eating, I was gaining weight. So that, even if you're losing slowly, the fact that you're not gaining is a huge victory. But 7 pounds does not sound like a failure at all to me. Let's see. Tammy says, I'm fasting too. I enjoy for work less to keep up with. I do a 4-hour window. I'm sorry, I'm not exactly sure what that comment meant, but I'm fasting. But I'm sorry, I don't really know what that comment meant. Let's see. Leanne says, do you ever have hunger pains even now that you've been doing it for so long? I find at 17 hours, it's the worst for me. I really don't. If I get to where I feel hungry, it's usually right before my period and right about 18 hours. And then I just eat right then. But for the most part, I can cruise about 20, 22 hours before I really start to feel hungry. And that's when I generally open my eating window. But I've been doing it 2.5 years of pretty consistently getting between 20 and 22 hours on average. So I don't. Let's see. I mean, that's not to say never. Like, there are times, like coming back from Disney, I was hungry every single day because I ate so much more. But for the most part, like if we're talking the norm, I don't get hunger pains. Derek says, hey girl, I got the courage to finally go all in on a clean fast, only black coffee and water. Scary at first, but I have found I have far fewer cravings as opposed to drinking broth and using Splenda. That's amazing. I never we just talked about this earlier. I never really fasted too long with anything in my fast other than those things and the flavored coffee, but that was even then was a short time. But it's really, I think it's compelling. I don't think I've ever talked to someone who says they don't feel a difference. But that's anyone that's wondering. Derek says he finds it he has far fewer cravings than when he had broth and Splenda. And I think that's pretty compelling. Thank you for sharing, Derek. My mom says, hey, mom, Joni, thanks for the company during lunch. Yay. It's an honor to join you for lunch. Let's see. How long did it take you to get to your goal weight and how many pounds? So I really, well, if I'm being honest, I thought I'd get to 140 pounds. I never got there because I got married at 137. So in my mind, I was like, I want to be 140. I don't know why. That was just like an arbitrary number based on what I got married at. But I easily got to 150 pounds, between 150, 153, depending on what day. And that was a little over 30-pound weight loss. And that took me 5 months. And then I basically plateaued there. And now I weigh between 147 and 150. And that's about 2 years later. So it took me, I do a lot of things like 100-hour fast, or I've done 75 hard, or I did keto for a month. So I have a lot of trial and error in that last 3 pounds lost. I don't know if I would have just maintained my fasting schedule if I would have lost the little bit of additional weight. But I just feel really comfortable here. So I don't feel like working super hard. So my goal weight was arbitrary, set when I was overweight. And now I feel extremely comfortable. If someone asked me my weight, I'd say 148. Like that's where I feel like is a pretty consistent. I don't weigh myself regularly, but so technically I'm 8 pounds more than what I thought my goal weight was. But right now I'm comfortable. I feel good in my skin. I feel healthy. I enjoy my eating window. And none of those are compelling reasons to try to lose more weight. So I'm happy here. But so to answer your question, I lost about 35 pounds total. And it took me about 5 months to lose the first 32 and then 2 years to lose the last 3. But that's just been like a little bit of a roller coaster. Let's see. Lori says, what does Dr. Mindy say about fasting for postmenopausal women? So she addresses it, but not like extensively. And since I'm not postmenopausal, it wasn't something that I really like, honed in on and paid the most attention to because I am still menstruating. But she would basically say, and if you're postmenopausal, don't worry, you can still follow these cycles. She would give kind of like verbiage like that. And I think she had a lot of good fasting information where you don't have to have a cycle for it to matter to you. But she didn't have, I feel, I don't want to be wrong. So I could be wrong saying that she didn't have like direct stuff, but I don't remember there being like a ton of information just for postmenopausal women. I think a lot of it is she'd share about like different phases and cycles. And then she'd say, and don't worry, if you're postmenopausal, you can still follow the same cycle. There are still benefits there. And then she would just kind of like list a little bit more, but it wasn't ever a ton for postmenopausal. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure though, that's what it was. Mandy says, I've been fasting 24 for 7 months, but haven't lost any weight. I'm going to keep trying because I enjoy the food freedom without the weight gain. I honestly think that's a huge victory. And I understand that it's probably frustrating if weight loss is your goal. But the fact that you're enjoying food and not gaining weight isn't something I could never do. So I'm celebrating that with you. And I think keep going. And if you want the weight loss to occur, I hope that does come to you though. Tony asked, did I ever experience nausea in the early stages of fasting during a down day in particular? And to clarify, you do 18-6 with 1 down and 1 up day per week. Okay. So nausea wasn't really anything I ever dealt with. Down days, the only thing I ever had complaints of on down days was one, I'd get really sore legs, but ever since taking the Element electrolytes, that's kind of not been a non-issue. And then I still deal with, I'm pretty untired at night when I do a down day. I have a hard time falling asleep on down days. I think just because you get into ketosis and your body is just more energized, it just is harder for me to fall asleep. Once I fall asleep, it's easy for me to stay asleep. But nausea was never an issue. And then to clarify on my schedule, I would never say I do 18-6 because I don't have a 6-hour eating window normally. I do 18-hour minimum fast most days. But that generally looks like 20, 21, 22, sometimes 23, sometimes 24, 25-hour fasts. I have longer fasts generally. So I'd say I think my average is 21 and a half hours of fasting every fast. And then I have an OMAD eating window 5 days a week. And then I do a down day and an up day. Ever since I stopped losing weight, I'm not super rigid about having to have a down day and an up day. But for the most part, I'd say I do it once every week, maybe once every 2 weeks, depending on what's going on in my life. But for the most part, I'm OMAD with a minimum 18-hour fast. Generally, it's in the 20s, 21, 20, 22-hour fast. So my 18 hours is just a minimum. I don't do 18-6 though. If I ate 6 hours every day, I'd eat too much. I know I would. Jamie says, oh my gosh, I caught a live and watching for only a few months. Well, I'm glad you're here and welcome. Let's see. Emil, I hope I said, Amelie says, can you describe your perfect month of fast? Do you plan fast in advance or go with what feels right day by day? So my perfect month of fast would be a month where most of my fasts were a minimum of 18 hours. And I do that pretty regularly. So I'm getting on my fasting app here. I do not plan my fast in advance except for like the day before Thanksgiving. I will intentionally do a down day so that Thanksgiving is an update. That's the only kind of planning that I do. I every day plan to do an 18-hour fast minimum. And then after that, I don't say like tomorrow I will do a 24-hour fast. I'll do my 18-hour minimum and then I just see where the meal falls and when I want to open my eating window. So sometimes that means I want to open it with cottage cheese and pepitas and that'll be before dinner. Or sometimes that means I just fast right up till dinner. It really depends on the day. So it is more a day by day how I'm feeling. But I was just going to show you. So my app changed. So let me see here. It's a lie. It used to show me on the month by month basis, like if I hit my 18 hours or not, but I saw on Christmas Day, I know I didn't fast 18 hours and it showed me that it's a green. So I don't know how to read that anymore, but a perfect month of fasting. I don't want to say I just aim for 18 hours, but I don't have heartache if I don't hit 18 hours regularly. I do it, I'd say 9 days out of 10. Probably more, to be honest. I hit my 18 hours. So I don't have a perfect month, just 18 hours, I guess, daily. But yes, I go day by day to see what feels right with the 18 hours as my minimum. M. Withlow says, thank you for your content. I have long COVID for going on 2 years and intermittent fasting has given me a way to be in control of my body and it helps me to lose weight even though I'm unable to exercise. I'm really sorry you have long COVID. I've heard of that from some others in my life. It does not sound fun. And obviously, I think people can have it in different ways, but I'm really glad that intermittent fasting is helping you to reclaim some of your control. So I'm glad you have that. And thanks for being on the channel. I hope your long COVID goes away. I don't know if long COVID means you have it forever, but I hope not for you. Jared says, if anyone does 17 hours fast, is it once a month or 2 months? Best to try. I just have done it kind of as a personal challenge. I'm not someone that does it regularly, so I don't have something to put out on that. But others might have information. I have to check the time. Oh, I have to leave here in 5 minutes to get my kids. Let's see. If anyone does, all right, I already did that. Everyone, please click like on this video. Thank you, Cordelia. Ashley says, how long did it take for you to be able to exercise while fasting? Actually, I'd say the first week and a half to 2 weeks, was a big learning curve, and I'm sure exercising wasn't on my menu, but I remember the first Um, the first summer that I was fasting, shoveling, we got like pea gravel delivered and why can't I think of what it's called? What is it called? Mulch. Hello. And moving that from our driveway to different gardens and feeling like, oh my gosh, it's never seemed this easy. So it wasn't like it was still physical labor, but I felt so energized while I was fasting that I made sure I was fasting. And that was really like crazy to me. But I'd say after a couple weeks, I preferred to exercise while I'm fasting, but it didn't take long. Let's see here. Shabbat says, hello, ma'am. Did calories matter for weight loss in intermittent fasting? 24, please tell. And I said, or earlier I did mention, I do not count calories. So does it matter? Probably. Do I count them? No, because I just go off of being satisfied. I don't try to stuff myself silly, and I just don't want to focus on them because I've dieted so much that I don't want to feel like I'm dieting. Now, could it matter if I ate in excess everything under the sun? Yes, obviously it could matter. But I don't consider them, if that makes sense. I consider what sounds good. I mean, every day, does a donut sound good to me? If someone presented me a donut, yes. But do I go out and eat a donut every day? No. I just think, okay, what am I going to have for dinner today? This sounds good. What would be good with that? And then after dinner, if I still feel hungry, then I consider, okay, what do I want to close my eating window with? So those are the things I consider, not calories. Let's see. Pamela says, since Thanksgiving. Yes, thank you. I'm thinking that means Thanksgiving. And I'm sorry, I have a really hard time remembering previous comments, what we talked about. I remember saying, I don't know how long you've been fasting, maybe. Let's see. Oh, no, I lost my spot trying to find a previous comment. Let's see. Tony says, your she space is in the closet. Do you have a makeup or do you have a video on your makeup setup? I don't have a video on my makeup setup currently as it is in my walk-in closet. I get ready in my little closet. But maybe I'll do like another get ready with me sometime and I'll show you we just painted and put some wallpaper up in my closet and my husband did shelves for me in there. And then my recording space in the basement is in our basement bedroom, which we use as like workout equipment and kind of a junk room. The closet in there is where I record. So I have 2 walk-in closets are my little personal space here on Earth, and I love it. Amanda asked, do I eat eggs? I love breaking my fast in the afternoon with eggs, but they are so expensive. Yes, I actually really do like eggs. This summer was on a really big kick of cottage cheese and scrambled eggs together. I saw that on TikTok. So good, so high protein. But yeah, eggs are really expensive right now. So it's been a lower choice for me, but I do like eggs. Monica says, new to OMAD, you've been so helpful. Hubby will be joining me soon on it. I swear I don't feel like I'm dieting because I'm not. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yay. I am celebrating with you. How exciting that your husband's doing it with you. But it is the best. And it's almost surreal. Like, I'm enjoying food, I'm losing weight, and I don't feel like I'm dieting. Like, what's the catch? And I am excited with you because it's the best. Pamela said, yes, since Thanksgiving and all holidays. I can't remember your original question, though. I'm sorry. I fell off after 3 months fasting since I didn't lose any weight. Now I'm back on track since I noticed I feel horrible and puffier. I love so much my gourmet coffee, though. Please help. Okay, Camilla. Have your gourmet coffee as your window breaker. Like, you could just move when you look forward to it. And I know that's hard if it's your morning ritual because I love my ritual of black coffee in the morning, but just maybe let yourself every single day open your eating window with that gourmet coffee, and then you'll just shift your habits. Habits take time, but that's what I would do. Have that be your window breaker. Whatever your gourmet coffee is that you love, if it's a cappuccino or a latte, have it be your window opener. Let it be the little carrot that dangles, and then fast and get to it. And soon that'll be your new habit. That's my advice. But guys, I see that I'm missing a lot. I am so sorry. There are a lot that I'm missing, but I have to go because my kids need to be picked up from school. But I'm sorry I'm missing all these. I do love chatting with you guys, but my kids need me and I got to go. So I will be back next week. If you missed anything, or if I missed your question, I'll be back next week live. I also feel like, especially seeing the comment about my makeup space, maybe I'll do another Q&A. I can leave it and then you guys can leave me another question and we'll do a get ready with me again. By the time it's filmed and up, it'll be about 6 months since my last one. So it could be good. I don't know why this one's sticking out, but do I have any tips for snacking fast and long car rides? Lots of black coffee, sparkling water. I just bring those, even though I used to love having snacks in the car. So those are what I do. But thanks, guys. I hope you have a wonderful week. I will see you. Well, there will be a video Saturday. I'm going to get back into shorts. I had to take a break. Vlogmas just drained me. And then I'll be back. I'll be back with a live next Wednesday. See you guys. Have a great day.